We'll now begin our conversation this morning by heading to southeastern Nigeria, looking at Anambra State, where the state government and security agencies have tried and continue to try all that they can to curb efforts towards the state stay-at-home order that has been initiated by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. And there has, of course, been varied sort of obedience to this. But let's get what the true position is. We have our correspondent, Chinwe Ugele, in Anambra State. She's live in Awka now. Good morning, Chinwe. Thank you very much for joining us. What is the correct position? Would you say that there have been people who are defying this stay-at-home order, or are we having more people still obeying the stay-at-home order?
Well, good morning. I am right now at Unizik Junction here in Awka, and everything seems normal. And from the feedback I got yesterday that I came into the state, to be a relative farm in the state. I have here with me a resident of Anambra State. She is a food seller here at Unizik Junction. So, madam, can you tell us what the security situation is right now in Awka? The situation in Awka is very nice. Very nice, but I need to get a okay, so on the Catholic home, I'm on Cherry, I could mention that. I met an event from each of them. Yes, they are being so good. They are being so good. Okay, so can you check on the government in April for giving my title to the The truth is that it's not all about security or about people like in the north around us about security. Because if it's security, they are doing their work so perfect. Okay, so they are in our co-op and they might be your father. Yeah, government. Yeah, yes. Thank you, sir. So what she just said basically is that the people of the state will need to come together to support government and the security operatives in the fight against insecurity. And that's basically what nearly everyone I interviewed yesterday said, that government is trying on its own part. The operatives, which includes the police, the local vigilante group, they are all taking efforts. But then the people themselves will need to support government and the security operators for this fight to be truly successful. So the people are going about their businesses. There seems not to be any problem for now. But then, like they say, more needs to be done.
All right, Chinwe Ugele, thank you for bringing us updates there. We hope to see an Anambra State that would eventually be able to say that they have successfully dealt with insecurity and that they've been able to, move on to looking at other things. Benga, would you like to?
Oh, yes. And of course, this year is an election year in Anambra State, and I'm sure it will be top of the agenda of everyone that is contested. Thank you so much, as always, Chinwe Ugele and Awka, Anambra State. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
You're staying on Anambra State. Our focus is still on Anambra State this morning. We have, we'll take you to the southeastern part of the country, Anambra State, and we'll take this conversation further. We have in the studio with us Onyeka Nwafor, an APC gubernatorial aspirant, an MD and CEO of Yenko Medical Center. Warm welcome to you, sir, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central. Let's start with, they always say, without security, business can't thrive, people can't leave. So let's start with the biggest issue in Anambra State. Last December, last year, there were so many issues when it comes to insecurity. And of course, Mondays have been an enforced public holiday because IPOB's sit-at-home order. How would you rate Governor Soludo's how would you assess Governor Soludo's first term in office? Is there much to be desired, especially when it comes to the issue of security?
Okay, first of all, the Southeast has been having issues of insecurity. But what I always say, insecurity is there, but the will, the political will, the personal will, understanding that problem of insecurity can cripple an entire community, can cripple an entire state or entire region when it's not properly addressed. So when you get to the issue of assessing His Excellency Governor Chukwuma Soludo of ABCA performance in his just 1 year that will be, his 4 years in office that will be concluded next year, March, is nothing to write home about. Because let me take, for example, from last year, there was a report which was published that Anambra was ranking #1 on the ransom that was paid to kidnappers. Imagine we are a state that was at time adjudged to be the safest by a former Inspector General of Police, has now fallen to the part that the state is now taking lead, #1. And to show you that the approach adopted by His Excellency, the Governor of Anambra State, is not encouraging. Because when you talk of insecurity, you talk of people's life, you talk of ransom paid, and there are things that you cannot change. When someone is kidnapped and he pays ransom, that person gets bitter. Some of these people does not get released, they get killed. So it is already a zero performance from the time he took over in 2021 to December last year.
Is this a mindset that is expressed by the larger population in Anambra State, or is that just your opinion?
No, you see, it is not my opinion. It is a general, I went on an inspection. When I came inside the flight, I met someone who we got talking. He said, I am coming back, but unfortunately, I will not get to Anambra. The person didn't know I was from Anambra. I said, why? He said, because he doesn't want to pay ransom. You can go to the streets of Anambra and find out. You know, insecurity cannot be politicized. The truth remains, when a place is not secure, it's not secured. It's a general problem which has taken lives. And no matter what you do, even if tomorrow you curb the insecurity, you can't replace the lives that were lost. These are people breadwinners, these are people husbands, these are people wives, these are people families. You have rendered them, the permanent sorrow lives in their heart. So it has nothing to do with me to say this is just my opinion. It is the general opinion of Anambrarians. People who want to tell themselves the truth. Even people that is inside this government, nobody is spared, because a kidnapper does not know whether you are APC or you are ABCA or you are PDP. Once he hits a target, he will kidnap anybody he sees on the street.
Quite frankly, it's been very concerning to see the rate at which kidnappings and killings have happened in southeastern Nigeria. Growing up, that wasn't the norm. We didn't see a lot of that. We all thought about that. Even when insecurity became a bigger conversation in Nigeria, we all saw it as something that happened more in the north. But we've seen a lot of that happening in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Let's talk about some of the factors that some have argued may have led Anambra State to where it is. One of which would be the continuous detention of Nnamdi Kanu. There are those who say that him being let out will have an impact on solving the insecurity crisis in Anambra State. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I think I do. You see, I've always said it, that whatever that is going to bring peace, when you talk of peace, there are prices to pay for peace. Whatever that is going to bring peace in the southeast, if releasing Nnamdi Kanu is going to bring peace, why not release him?
But is there a guarantee that if he's released, there will be peace?
I cannot say, I don't know, but what I'm saying is from things I've heard around, and maybe so many people that has commented, I think as a leader, because remove it or not, he is in control of a large number of followers. He has a large number of followers. So I think his voice being released might add 1 or 2. This is my own personal opinion. I don't have powers to release him. But if you ask me, I would say, why not release him?
And then the conversation, of course, as we speak about Nnamdi Kanu, I think it's also important to talk about Simon Ekpa, who has become a big conversation in the past few weeks, or would I say months. What are your thoughts on him and the influence or impact he may have on IPOB and invariably on the insecurity in Anambra State?
I might not be able to give a full detail because, number one, the person you mentioned, Simon, does not live in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So it is still what you read on social media that I may rely on. And again, I've not been able, it's only the Commissioner of Police or maybe governors in the Southeast might be able to know the people behind all these things. And whatever way that we can achieve peace, as I said, he's not living in Nigeria, so he's living outside Nigeria. He's not in Nigeria at the moment, so there are little to more to what I can be able to contribute to someone off the shores of this country, because whatever happening is happening here. It's until the person gets here and he has explanations to make or one thing or the other, we can be able to know. You understand what I mean?
Now let's talk about the sit-at-home issue. I mean, Monday is the first day of the week, and if you can quantify the economic loss from the sit-at-home order from the years it's been running, it will go into billions. The current governor, Governor Soludo, has consistently urged businesses to remain open on Mondays, yet residents fail to comply with this, fail to comply with the governor's directive. Instead, they sit at home. What does this say about the state's ability to enforce its authority and provide security? Why do people, Anambrans, comply? Is it a fear of attack? What reasons could you adduce to them not listening to the governor and opening businesses on Mondays?
The issue of sit at home, number one, you should know that Southeast is a business region. In the morning, someone goes to open his or her shop to trade, and he expects people to come and buy. And there is this fear which has been created on the part of both the buyer and the seller. And this is where the government would have stepped up in its ways. Because when you take over a state as a chief security officer of that state, your action and inaction matters when you speak to people. I expected the governor to have come further to find ways, even if it means dialogue, even if it means the governor to set an example on Monday morning for him not to be in Oka, to show by example. Because you see, these things are very simple. When you want to lead somebody, you lead by example. You don't tell people, you don't issue orders. When the person knows his life is at risk, his or her life is at risk. You don't tell the person, go and open your shop, blah, 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 blah. I've given the order, I am going to any shop, any market that is not opened, I will confiscate it, do this, do that. They will sit down and tell you to go and take the market now. Because they are not seeing... They're not seeing government action. That's what is called action plan. And they see that this government, this governor, is matching his words, not just by saying, They need to see little things before they will not say, oh, I think the governor is going to the right direction.
So if you were governor, what would you do differently?
You see, part of it is that what I will not disclose here. But trust me, part of my plan is to end sit at home. Dialogue is still a key. There are all forms of it. You dialogue with the people. By then, you have to find out who these enforcers are. You dialogue with them. Build the morale to the market people, the market leaders. They need to see you, the plan you have. Because let me take, for example, if a government wants to provide something, a government comes up with a plan, you said, okay, this and that, we want to curb this, and for now, we are providing this and that, people has to see it. If you make a budget in government and say you are doing XYZ road and you are budgeted 400 billion for it, and the citizen wakes up and they didn't see the road, and 1 year goes, don't you know they will call your government that you're a scam? So there needs to be more will, both politically and self-will.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm thinking as a business person in Anambra State, right? I'm putting myself in the position of an average business person. Beyond seeing the governor, not complying with the sit-at-home order in order to exemplify it, I want to feel safe enough. I don't want to endanger my life, endanger my business. So it will be beyond the rhetorics for me. It would be being able to know that even if I go to business, I'm certain that my business is protected, that nobody is going to come and hurt me. Do we have all that modality, all those modalities in place to ensure that when business owners do not comply with the sit-at-home order and they show up, they will not be killed? their businesses will not be burnt. Do we have enough security architecture in Anambra State to ensure that these people will feel safe enough? Because I believe beyond
the rhetoric.
Yeah, beyond the rhetoric, they want to feel safe to be able to go to. I'm sure that a number of these people are not comfortable with the sit-at-home order, but they're trying to protect their lives and protect their businesses.
Yes, that's what I said. It still boils down to the chief executive of the state, being Governor Chukwuma Soludo, who has not shown the political will.
No, I'm bringing this up because you said you're going to have dialogue.
Yes,
so
but
I don't know how much people don't want to hear talk. As a citizen, I wouldn't want to hear talk.
That's why I said I have plans to end sit at home. You see, part of the plans I have is what I will soon let the Anambrarians know when campaign starts proper. Because you see, it boils down to the market we have in Anambra. I don't even think if you count it, if it's up to 20. So you see, those places can be secured every Monday. You already know where these targets are. So you channel your attention and the energy of the state. Because see, let me tell you, those markets that are closed, the state loses revenue. So what should be on your mind is, how much will I use to make this market to open? And how much am I losing if this market closes? If you check it and the amount you're going to lose if this market closes is more than the money you will spend as a chief executive of the state to make sure that this market opens. Why not go ahead and open the market? Because the economy of the state is dropping day by day.
Now, you plan to run for office, for the highest office in Anambra State, and you've gone around, you said you've gone to do your investigations. To what extent do you think IPOB enjoys sympathy amongst Anambrarians? And recently, the Court of Appeal just upheld the proscription of IPOB as a terrorist group. What implications will that have for the operations of the group?
Certainly, as I said, I might not be able to say all it might have to the group because I don't have the master plan of the group.
And you don't speak for them.
And I don't speak for the group.
So, but public sentiments among Anambrarians,
first and foremost,
are they tired of sitting at home?
They are. No, but you know what Monday is? Monday, if I want to classify it in a layman's language, is the next day to make money after spending the one you have made the weekend. The weekend you went to enjoy yourself in the weekend. Imagine when you enjoy yourself in the weekend and on Monday you are still having another holiday. So you see, in some places, not all the southeast. In Enugu, for example, markets are open. Go and confirm. Ebonyi, for example, markets are open.
So it's just in Anambra State?
Anambra has the most of the highest, where markets are closed. Go to Enugu, take your time, you have correspondence, send them to Enugu. You see markets open, people trading. And you know that one of the largest market in West Africa, if I'm not mistaken, is the main market in Onitsha.
Okay, I want us to move away from this sit-at-home conversation soon, but I think I want to put a lead to it. You've said that if you were the governor, you would ensure that you have dialogue with all the people who are the enforcers of the sit-at-home order. Then you spoke to security when I asked you, and you said, checking the numbers to see if it will cost you more or cost you less to secure these markets. So I believe that's what part of the plans that you would have. I don't know if you're willing to share other plans. And I know you say that you would let these plans out when you officially announce campaign season. But you're an Anambrarian. And if Anambra people watch and see these and see that, okay, these are some of the plans that this man has for us. Because it's just like with Nigeria, every person coming, they've made promises. Leaders keep making promises, but they fall short of these promises. How many people have promised to stabilize power? We keep seeing all these promises and it just feels like mere talk. So if an Anambra person watching this wants to be able to say, can I give my vote to this person? Can I trust this person? So maybe share with us, some of the things you feel like should be done. And the way that I see it, it doesn't matter even if it's not something that happens then. Wouldn't it favor you if the sit-at-home order ends before you get into office? So you don't have to deal with that problem.
You see, as I said, lovely, I want to share it. But the present government in power, being government of Governor Chukwuma Soludo, it feels that they know it all and they don't accept mistakes. Yes, because I could remember when issues of kidnapping was happening last year, there was a statement I saw online, on Instagram, that because what is going on in Anambra is because there are billionaires where they will get money. You see, that is a very, very terrible statement to come from a chief executive officer of a state. So you're not trying to tell, because I'm taking this to somewhere, so you're not trying to let us know that crime can continue because rich people exist.
No.
You understand? I saw it, that rich people. So even if I sit down here and say it, next thing you hear is that, oh, this is part of the plan we have already been trying to do, and you just brought it up, there is nothing there. As I said, dialogue is number one.
And force? I mean, in another interview, you mentioned using force as well.
Dialogue is number one. It's only when dialogue fails.
Then
you apply. Force is securing the market. Because remember, those traders need confidence. It is confidence they need. Nobody wants to lose his or her life. They want to see that my shop will not be closed, I will not be harassed. Nobody comes in to shoot me, nobody comes in to destroy my things. But before you do that, dialogue is essential. Because let me tell you, have you asked yourself why amnesties are granted to some set of criminals sometimes? You think that the government cannot take force on them also? No. But there are things sometimes you need to sit down and talk with them.
Okay.
Because if money, do you know part of the reason why criminality is thriving? Because the venture is making money. So that's why most of times criminality thrives. So, but when you sit down and let people know that criminality does not go anywhere, see, I can offer you so many things. I can sit down and offer you people a future more than what you feel you have. These are young men.
See, that amnesty conversation will be, it's another conversation for another day, but let's move on.
APC primaries are coming up on the 5th of April, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yesterday, the APC's national chairman, Alhaji Ganduje, he said that don't use your money to scatter APC. He was talking to Anambra. Ganduje tells Anambra billionaires. There's also a conversation about consensus candidate. Why do you think the APC chairman made that statement, and what's the problem with billionaires? You did mention Soludo's comment on billionaires, and now the APC national chairman is saying don't use your billions to scatter APC. And would you support a consensus candidature for an APC flag bearer for the Gobble polls?
No, obviously, unless if that consensus candidate becomes me, I will not support it. People should go to the poll, primary should be conducted, the most popular candidate should win. I think our great national chairman, His Excellency Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, has reasons for him to have made that comment. Me and you know that Anambra has a lot of billionaires.
Are you one of them?
Well, I will not answer that here because maybe I might not want to disclose some certain things. And so, but you know, he has reasons for saying that. Only he knows. Maybe there might be moves one way or the other, but you see, that him saying it shows that he stands for integrity. He's making a statement. And that statement, as they say, to who it may concern. He didn't call anybody's name, but he has made a statement, all the aspirants should play by the rule. Instead of using your billions to look for who to buy, channel it to the welfare of the growth of the party.
But there was a consensus candidate, and they decided that consensus candidate, you'd be okay with it?
I'll be okay with it, because I have...
As long as it's you.
I know, I'll be okay with it, because I have plans to go and change Anambra. Because Anambra is in a big darkness.
Wow.
Yes, truth be told. Truth be told.
Okay.
And I believe I'm going to emerge victorious at the primary.
Why?
Yeah, because...
What do you think is different about you that, you know, the other candidates, the current governor probably doesn't have? Or what promise do you want to make to the people of Anambra that they haven't heard before and still not yet manifested? Okay,
let me tell you, this particular government that is going to expire, because it will end, definitely. The people of Anambra, on the 8th of November this year, we vote out Governor Chukwuma Soludo. You know why? They have lost trust. You see, leaders to always understand that statements you make before the election and statements you make after the election should be matching each other. See, I could remember that during his campaign, he said he's going to make Anambra, Taiwan, whatever. But me and you know that these things are not possible.
But Taiwan wasn't built in a day.
But did you lay the fact? Did you lay, no, which second time? Second time you come up with another story. Another story will now be that fiscal whatever. Maybe security will be why Taiwan is not going to come up. And Anambranians, we are watching. So you don't tell people, see, I have said it times without number. When you lose trust from the people, you have lost it all.
Right.
You can't bring it back. Okay, let me give you an example. Anambra was heaven of kidnappers. Suddenly the election was approaching. Governor Chukwuma Soludo rolled out security outfit. My question becomes, what were you doing for the last 34 months in office? You kept quiet, people were being killed, kidnapped. I see what he's doing as political gimmicks, methods to win an election. But you see, Anambrans are wise.
Okay, I
Seriously.
guess the countdown to the elections have begun, and like we all would say, may the best man win. Onyeka Nwafor, thank you so much for
Thank you very much for
joining
your
us.
time.